Hey Leo, welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Nina and today we are doing your April 2020 predictions. Obviously with everything that's going on, there's not a whole lot of outside shit happening. So we'll try to see what we can pick up on and try to focus on like internal stuff. With that being said, this may apply to Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Keep in mind that this is a general reading, so it may not apply to everyone, and that is okay. Take what resonates with you and leave the rest that doesn't. If it does resonate with you, if you were able to gain something out of this, let me know in the comments down below. Like the video, share, subscribe, hit the bell notification to know when I upload my videos. And if you want to book a personal reading with me, you can do so at Sinfulpluto.com. If you want to find me on social media, you can do so on Twitter and Instagram at Sinfulpluto. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get started. All right, so let's see what's going on for you, Leo. Spirit, what's happening for Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus, April 2020? What's going on for Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus, April 2020? Two cards flipped over. Okay. Ooh, I liked it. So we have the Ace of Pentacles and the King of Swords. So it seems as though you may be offered something or presented with some sort of idea that you can like plan, or like some sort of like the beginning of it, like the beginning of a new idea, the beginning of something new in some way, some sort of offer, some sort of revelation or something that like requires to be tended to and like nurtured. And with the King of Swords, it seems as though you have a plan, or you're being encouraged to have a plan as to how to go about rooting this thing and using it to the best of your advantage. Like you have a plan, you have an idea, you have a strategy with that King of Swords, which is really interesting. That's really cool. And then we have the Six of Pentacles reversed. We have the Nine of Swords reversed. We have the Page of Swords reversed. Five of Wands reversed. And at the bottom of the deck is the King of Pentacles, which seems to be what you aspire to be for the month. Someone very successful, living the lavish life, that sort of thing. So a big message that's coming through is a need for generosity. You require to be generous with your energy and with whatever you end up earning. Okay, King of Pentacles right here, and then under that is the Four of Pentacles. Yeah, you require generosity. You require to be generous, especially in this time period right now. You absolutely require to be generous, whether it's of your time, of your resources, of your money, your skills, whatever this is, you require to be generous. And a message that's kind of coming through here for you, Leo, is like you are on the way to living this lavish life, right? You were on the way to sitting back with your little pentacle here, you know, like with your little pentacle, you're on the way there. You're on the way to making something really good, to creating something new, to establishing a very solid foundation for yourself. Like you're on your way there. I can definitely see that for you. The thing is though, is that we have the Six of Pentacles reversed, which kind of talks about you wanting to keep it all to yourself, not wanting to share it with others, not being charitable with your skills, resources, time, money, whatever this is. This talks about a lack of charitability, a lack of generosity. It's being stingy, trying to keep everything to yourself, whether because you feel like you own this thing so only you can have it, or because maybe you fear not having enough of it, or maybe you fear like someone else will somehow steal the idea from you in some way. Whatever it is, Spirit seems to be saying that there is enough for everyone to go around. You can share with other people, whatever this might be. You don't have to keep it all to yourself. If anything, Spirit is discouraging you from keeping it all to yourself. And it might even be that you end up feeling a lot more fulfilled by sharing this gift, this offer, whatever this is, with other people. You have to think logically and objectively about this rather than kind of allowing the anxiety or like the animalistic instinct of survival to get the best of you, if that kind of makes sense. Because we have that, so we have this thing, right? The Ace of Pentacles, the birth of something new. You have like that opportunity to plan something. You like, maybe you have this new idea, there's a new project that you want to go forth with. And you know, we have the King of Swords, which shows like, okay, I have the seed for something really great and really successful. What am I going to do with it? And so I see you kind of like either making a blueprint, a timeline, a step-by-step thing. I see you doing something to plan it all out, planning ahead. I see you doing that, which is awesome. But then we run into the Six of Pentacles reversed, where it's like, I don't want to share this with anybody. I don't want to share my success with anybody else. Like, I'm the one who deserves this success. I'm the only one who should be in the spotlight. And it's like, no, share it with everyone else. This isn't sort of competition. This isn't, you know, a battle to the death or anything like that. Like, share it with others. Be generous. Be very generous. There's nothing wrong with sharing. You don't have to keep it all to yourself. Hoarding it isn't going to do anything. It doesn't really help. And if anything, it creates stagnancy. It creates blockages. And we don't want that. We want generosity. We want compassion. We want all of that sort of energy. We definitely want that. And with this King of Pentacles, that's kind of also part of that message. Just like generosity, sharing your wealth, your lavishness with other people, sharing the luxuries with others, sharing privileges with others. Like, everyone can have a bit of the pie. You know, that doesn't mean that just because you share with others doesn't mean that you are going to have less than, or that you aren't going to have any more at all. It just means that you're sharing with others. You're sharing the abundance with others. So that kind of seems like a whole thing. And we see like this anxiety that you feel about this, right? With this Nine of Swords reversed, we see that anxiety of like, maybe some of you are trying to get it done as quickly as possible, or you're trying to put it out as quickly as possible before anyone else can, or just feeling the anxiety of like, I have to keep this to myself. I have to keep it for me only, and whatever. Feeling anxious about whatever idea this is. And because of the anxiety, the fear, the stress, that may lead to you not taking certain risks. Page of Swords reversed. That may lead to you not taking certain risks, or maybe even closing yourself off in some way to learning. Closing yourself off from other people, closing yourself off from different possibilities, from different options, from new information, or whatever the case may be, because of just like trying to keep this thing to yourself, whatever it might be. So that's really interesting. And we like, it's almost as though you go from like a really like mature level of having a lot of wisdom and like knowledge, and implementing that to your plan, to your skills, implementing this to your whole idea, right? You go from here to a page, like you go from mature to immature. And it's like, why you gotta be like that? You were on a good path here. Why does this Page of Swords reversed have to come through? This Page of Swords reversed can sometimes refer to someone who is fickle. So someone who, like, they say they're gonna do something and then they never end up following through with it. So for some of you, it could be like, you end up, you know, creating the plan and everything, but maybe due to the anxiety or to like the idea of having to share with others, you're like, you know what? No, I don't want to do it. I don't want to share it with anyone, so I'm not even going to give it to myself. That's kind of like what it feels like for some reason. Like not following through with something due to the anxiety. Or some of you, for example, maybe some of you may have promised that once you got this thing rooted, this thing planted, and once it sprouts and you end up reaping the rewards, you know, it's like reaping what you have sown, and like sharing that with others. Like maybe you made a promise that once everything like goes out and like once everything sprouts and you were able to reap what you have sown, that you'll give a portion to someone. or to like a charity or something. Like maybe you have made a promise, you made some sort of commitment, but then once you have that success, it's like, you know what, I'm not gonna follow through with that. I'm just gonna keep it all to myself. I'm gonna be like, it's like that kind of, it's that kind of selfish energy of like just wanting to keep it all to yourself, not wanting to share the abundance with others, which is, you know, like I can understand that. I can understand like wanting to keep things to ourselves, but at the same time, like there's nothing wrong in sharing. If anything, it breeds further abundance and further wealth and like happiness and fulfillment, you know, when everyone gets to have a taste of a little taste of something, you know. So that's really interesting. That's kind of like the energy here. And we have the Five of Wands, or yeah, the Five of Wands reverse, which is the internal conflict. So the internal conflict relating to sharing and keeping everything to yourself. Maybe you feel as though like you're you're having like a moral dilemma about it, because you know that like morally it may be the better thing to like go out and share, but at the same time, you know, ego might be getting in the way. Be like, no, you deserve this, you know, you worked for it, you know, just convincing yourself to like not go out and do this thing, to not go out and like be generous and to share with others. You know, it's just like the ego saying, like just whispering, it's like the little devil on your shoulder, like saying, like, no, you don't have to share, you don't have to do this, keep it all to yourself, no one else deserves it, they didn't work for it, you did. Just saying like all of those things. So that's really interesting, Leo. So I guess this month, this is kind of like the big thing here seems to be relating a lot to generosity and sharing your wealth, whatever wealth it might be, not just monetary wealth, but any sort of wealth, any sort of abundance that you have, share it with the world, right? Rather than keeping it to yourself. And you might even be very aware of like how sharing might be better, but I don't know. It seems as though by trying to keep it all to yourself, by doing that causes a lot more anxiety than sharing it with others. Like it seems as though you may not have a lot of peace of mind if you try to keep it to yourself, if you try to like kind of take on that egotistical way of behaving, I guess you could say. And it's also possible that you might even miss out on a really great opportunity by having the mindset that you don't want to share. You might end up like not taking certain risks or not making certain decisions, or closing yourself off completely to new information, or to closing yourself off to learning new things, or closing yourself off to something, to different opportunities, to different experiences, or to expose yourself to something because of like this idea of like, I want it all, I want to keep it all to myself. So that's really interesting. I don't know what to tell you. So I guess just like be mindful of that, you know, open your heart to generosity, open your heart, and just be compassionate. Allow yourself to be compassionate and just share with others, whatever it might be, okay? There's enough to go around for everyone. So yeah, I hope that helps. I hope that resonates for some of you. And with that being said, I'll talk to you later, Leo. Bye.